Most of the time, failure is the result of an inability to complete certain objectives, not having enough supplies, or poor decision-making skills. But if you want to fail in these 7 games, you really need to work for it. Caution, we're talking about the endings in games here, so there are going to be spoilers. You have been warned. After the credits in Spec Ops: The Line, you're confronted by a squad of US soldiers. Here, you're given a choice. You can drop your weapon and go with them, thus giving yourself a chance at redemption. You've done a lot of killing. Or you can open fire on them and attempt to take them all out. This is actually much harder than it sounds, considering you're one shell-shocked mess of a human going up against an entire platoon. However, if you are able to kill everyone, you grab the walkie-talkie off the nearest dead body and utter to your superiors the same word Conrad said to you when you first arrived.
Gentlemen, welcome to Dubai.
Nia's endings start off bittersweet and get progressively more bleak as you unlock them. In order to earn the final and most depressing ending of the bunch, you'll have to go through several rounds of New Game Plus, then commit the most eternal of video game acts, deleting your save file. Once you beat the game the first time, you can use your save file to continue playing, starting from around the midpoint of Nia's story. Completing it a second time will unlock a different ending, providing a little more context to the story, but not really resolving anything. Completing the game a third time will finally give you a chance to choose one of 2 final endings. Do you kill one of your friends and then live the rest of your days waiting to die from a plague known as the Black Scrawl, or do you sacrifice your entire being to save her? If you pick the second option, all memory of your existence is erased from everyone you've ever interacted with, and all of your save files disappear along with it. It's actually kind of poetic, but still doesn't make playing through a game 3 times any less of a time sink.
Yona. Are you the one who helped me?
In order to get Harvest Moon's bad ending, you have to make sure that your farm is barren by the end of the year. Then do absolutely nothing for an entire in-game year. This means no planting or selling crops or buying any animals. Heck, it's probably best that you don't talk to anyone at all, lest somebody actually form an opinion about you. After twiddling your thumbs and resisting the urge to do anything other than waking up and going to bed for an entire year, you get kicked off the farm, leaving your whimpering dog behind on the front steps as you run as far away from this hick town as fast as your little legs can carry you. BioWare made a big deal out of how Commander Shepard could die during the final suicide mission in Mass Effect 2. What they didn't mention was how difficult it was to actually make this happen. But if you want Shepard to bite the bullet, along with everyone else in your squad, you have to completely forego completing any of your companions' loyalty missions. Then simply ignore your squad's suggestions during the final mission and assign the worst possible soldiers to complete the required tasks. Jacob for hacking, Miranda to handle the biotic shield, etc, etc. Pull off all that, bring 2 disloyal team members with you for the final battle, and voila! Seth Green is officially the only surviving member of the Normandy. In order to let the origami killer get away scot-free, you have to be very deliberate with your choices in Heavy Rain. It also helps to know who the origami killer is. Spoiler, it's Scott Shelby. Don't make that face, we told you there'd be spoilers. Now you know it's time to help him get away with murder. Essentially, you need to make sure that all the people Scott meets during his investigation, parents of previous victims and potential witnesses, end up dying. That guy in the convenience store? Just don't do anything and the situation will, resolve itself. Also, playable characters Madison and Jaden have to die, but in very specific points in the story. In fact, there's so many choices you have to make at the right times, we could dedicate a whole video to it, but instead, we'll just leave a link to the process in the description, because there's no way you'll be able to get this ending without obsessing over a chalkboard covered in pictures and bits of string otherwise. Because of its arcade roots, House of the Dead was designed to suck as many quarters out of your pockets as possible. It's a difficult game, and enemies are relentlessly gnashing and clawing away at you in an attempt to take a bite out of your tasty brain meats. But if you want to see the game's bad ending, you'll need to be flawless in your execution, good enough to beat the game without using a continue, but not so good that you score over 62,000 points. To achieve this, you can only really off the demons that will either progress the scene forward or are about to kill you. And you can't just refrain from killing anything either, because the number of continues used has to end in a 0, so you're better off not dying at all in order to guarantee that you'll see the bad ending. Do all this and lead hero Thomas's fiancée gets drunk and stands in a hallway? Oh, right, yeah, she's turned into a zombie. That's her, in zombie form. The Disgaea series is known for ridiculous difficulty spikes and for turning level grinding into an art form, and hey, if that's your jam, these turn-based RPGs will eat up hundreds and hundreds of hours of your time. Getting the bad ending in Disgaea 2 will take even longer. You'll need to accomplish 2 things before going into the final boss. Have over 99 ally kills, and one of them has to be the main hero Rosalind, and you need to have earned over 99 felonies, which are granted by fulfilling certain requirements in the item world. Oh, and you need to make sure you're powerful enough to beat the level 2000 boss, which replaces the level 90 boss you'd normally fight to watch the good ending. After dozens upon dozens of hours of grinding just to stand a fighting chance, you're finally rewarded with an incredibly dark ending in which the hero kills, and quite possibly eats, his friends.
Hanako.
And that's it, our top 7 bad endings in games and how to get them. If you have any other suggestions, put them in the comments below, but be warned, any comment section about endings is sure to contain spoilers for both old and new games. If you enjoyed this video, why not check out some more, and don't forget to subscribe to GamesRadar Plus for more reviews, previews, news, features, and more.